Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll talk about the mysterious Dark Watches, a cryptid that is still unknown to many. The Dark Watches was the most popular topic on a poll I did on my Twitter, @TheSirSpooks. So, let's begin. The Dark Watches have appeared in California folklore for the past several hundred years. They are a group of mysterious, completely dark, human-like creatures who stand motionlessly, watching travelers from hills, ridges, and peaks of the Santa Lucia Mountains. Twilight and dawn are the times that these beings are most often spotted, and they can usually be seen staring upwards toward the sky. So what do they look like? As mentioned before, these creatures are very dark, and sometimes they're giant-sized. They are completely featureless, dark silhouettes, and at times have brimmed hats and walking sticks. According to legend, no one has come close to the Dark Watches as they simply vanish once you get close enough. Walking through a wooded area and seeing a dark figure with the aforementioned description may not be such a scary thing after all, but no one truly knows their intentions. After some speculation, one might consider these beings to be the cause of some disappearances, and only a few people have actually lived to tell the tale. But this of course is just speculation. Perhaps it is entirely conceivable that they mean no harm to us. But what are they exactly, and what is their purpose? When Spanish settlers first moved into the area surrounding the Santa Lucia Mountains, they were said to have witnessed the Dark Watches. The Dark Watches were even mentioned in a 1938 collection of short stories titled Flight, written by John Steinbeck. This is a quote from the short story The Long Valley. Quote, "Pepe looked suspiciously back every minute or so, and his eyes sought the tops of the ridges ahead. Once, on a white barren spur, he saw a black figure for a moment, but he looked quickly away, for it was one of the Dark Watches. No one knew who the Watchers were, nor where they lived, but it was better to ignore them and never to show interest in them. They did not bother one who stayed on the trail and minded his own business." This may give some merit to my theory of the Dark Watches being the cause of some disappearances, were they to exist of course. John Steinbeck's son, Thomas Steinbeck, would grow up to report having seen the Dark Watches during his childhood, and would write a book titled In Search of the Dark Watches, in which he, along with the artist of the book, Benjamin Brode, would go into the history of the legend and interview locals who claimed to have seen them. In the 1960s, according to newspaper archives, Monterey Peninsula local and former high school principal had gone on a hiking trip where he spotted one of these scary beings, standing on a rock and surveying the area. When he called out to the other hikers, the creature vanished. The Dark Watches were also referenced in a poem, this particular one written by Robinson Jeffers. Quote, "He thought it might be one of the Watchers, who are often seen in this length of coast range, forms that look human to human eyes, but certainly are not human. They come from behind ridges to watch, but when he approached it, he recognized the shabby clothes and pale hair, and even the averted forehead and concave line from the eye to the jaw, so that he was not surprised when the figure turning toward him in the quiet twilight showed his own face. Then it melted and merged into the shadows beyond it." End quote. From these old poems, we can conclude that the Dark Watches should not be bothered, so if you see one, just stick to the trail and mind your own business. So what are these mysterious creatures? What do you think their true intentions are? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more scary content. My name is Sir Spooks, and I'll see you all in the next video.